Hello and welcome to the Education on Fire podcast. The place where we share creative and inspiring learning in our schools. Season 1, Episode 8. Hello and welcome back to Education on Fire with me, Mark Taylor. This is the Season 1 finale. And I'd just like to thank everyone who's been involved with this first season. It's been just so inspiring for me, and I've had the opportunity to speak to some great people and some really inspirational people. All the way back from episode 1 when we spoke to Lynn Hannay about the National Association for Primary Education and her training and how it went all the way through her journey of her teaching experience. Peter Council, who I saw again recently, and just was really excited about cracking on with season 2 and being able to comment on our EdTech, which is going to be season 2, which is all just shaping up really beautifully at the minute with some really, really interesting people talking about how technology is being used in schools and computing. And Janice Mardell, the head teacher from Overstone, who I just had a great time doing Sambo in their school, and just the aspirational and ambitious nature of their children, just such a fantastic ethos and fantastic environment to be working in. That's really been the key for me, just having the bedrock of what it's about to be learning, what it's about to enjoy the learning that you're doing, and just be excited about life. That's what it's all about. You know, if you can be excited about what you're doing and really enjoy what you're doing, then everything just becomes fun, and from there anything is really possible. And carrying on from there, you know, speaking to Andrew and Seth about, you know, understanding the story of the children, understanding who they are, making them feel important, and having a real relationship with them. I think that's just absolutely key, to be able to just to give everybody a sense of, yes, you know, we're looking after each other, we're learning together, we're part of the whole in this classroom, and I think that is something which can never be underestimated, and I think that was never more true than talking to our NQT George Billington. Just the fact that he, as he said himself, you know, being nosy is probably one of his one of his biggest assets. Just because he was, you know, wanting to know who the children were, what they're interested in, what they're doing, how they can just sort of bring that to their classroom and share it with their friends and all the people that are part of the school. And it just seems so obvious, but everything's obvious when you're told it, aren't it? That's the most interesting thing about these things. You know, when you hear it and it resonates with you, then it really just becomes something which hopefully you can just take on board and implement in your class. And I hope that we've covered some things which really, really have helped you in that regard. Talking to Kelly Long about podcasts and online communities was really interesting for me. I mean, I've built this entire podcast based on the community and the support of people that that are online. You know, it was being involved with John Lee Dumas and the EO Fire podcast that gave me the opportunity to learn about podcasting, how you put it together, and his community which he's built, which is full of people just so open and warm and wanting to support people in the podcasting world, and just so much great advice, so much great support for all of us out there. And even though we've got different topics and different backgrounds and we're from all over the world, the one thing that joins us together is just our passion to help everybody. And I'd like to thank all of those people and wish them well in their podcasts, and anything that I can do to help and support you, please let me know, and anything I can do, I'm more than willing to do. And Ash Manuel last week was just the whole thing about growing with gratitude, and that really struck me as a key thing. You know, just little things that we can do each day. He said just from 2 minutes to 10 minutes each day can just change the whole environment of the children in the class, in the school, their home life, and the community at large. And that's just a brilliant thing. And just I hope you've been onto his website, growingwithgratitude.com, and just have a look at some of those free resources on there. And as with all of these things, please just get in contact with me through the website educationonfire.com. leave a message in some of the comment boxes, and I'll be really keen to hear what you think about the guests that we've had on, the podcast as whole, whether the website gives you the kind of information that you need. We're really busy working on some downloadable material that we're going to do in future seasons, with our sports season and with our music season, and we've got some great people we've already got lined up to interview for our EdTech and computing in season 2, and we're going to be talking to BT, and we're going to be talking about the Barefoot Computing Program. We're going to be talking to the Apps for Good organisation, and just some really big organisations with big plans that are already doing fantastic things and making really, really interesting learning, and supporting children in technology in a way that could never be done just a few short years ago, and not just about the technical side of it, but how it's actually really enhancing everybody's life and bringing everybody together. So that's really, I just wanted to come on today and say a big thank you to all of those that are listening, and thanks very much. And as I said, please get in contact. The easiest way of doing it is just go to the website and go to Education on Fire, and as I said, either leave a comment in one of the boxes, or go to the contact me page, the get in touch page, and leave a message and let me know any thoughts or anything which you'd like to hear, anything you'd like to see come through the podcast that is going to really help you. I'll be really interested to hear, and I hope we can support you in any way that we can. This next week coming up, I'm delighted. I'm going to be going up to Leeds, and I'm going to be going to one of the universities there, and hopefully getting on board our first interviews of some of our trainee teachers. And the whole point of that is just to kind of follow everyone's journey through. Just, what are the aspirations of people when you start going on that journey, when you start training? How does that reality really work as you're going into your training, into your schools, getting the experience that you need, and then following it into your job, into your first school, when you're actually on your own, as George Billington said in his interview in episode 5, suddenly with that crown of, you're an NQT now, off you go and teach your first class, and when you're really left on your own, even though you may have the support of the school, just to see how that feels and what that's like, and your inside experience of that will be a really interesting one to hear back from, and hopefully we can support you with some of those things, and really just give you something which maybe you don't get just from the training, something which is just how you feel about it, how you think you can improve it, or just any advice which can help people who are going to be going through the training coming up, and that's what we're all about here at Education on Fire. It's kind of support, it's about sharing our experiences, and hopefully just making life a little bit better for everyone else, and that really is the absolute key, I think, is just sharing this creative and inspiring content of people that are actually in schools or in the organisations that are supporting schools, that are just really helping in a way now, every day in schools at the moment, not just about the big plans about how we'd like it to be in the future, but actually what's happening today in our schools. And that's key for me. That's key. While we, as we've said previously, we might like some of the system to be different, we are where we are with it. And it's how you change it on a daily basis, how you talk to people, how you create the atmosphere in your classroom, how you create the atmosphere within your colleagues and the rest of the school, and how you want to learn and how you want to teach. These are the really important things, and there are incredible things going on, and hopefully we've started just a small little part of opening the window so you can see into what some of these things are, and as I said, from season 2 onwards we're going to be more topic based next time, starting with our EdTech and then going through into other topics like sport and music and well-being and a whole myriad of other ones, and it's going to be a great journey, and I'm really excited to have finished season 1, and I hope you've really enjoyed what you've heard. Please keep in contact. Keep visiting the website, educationonfire.com. There'll be a page there that tells you when season 2 is coming out. Please sign up for the newsletter, and we can keep you in contact that way. And the regular blogs are going to keep going through the off season of the actual podcast, so that you can still find new content on the website on a weekly basis. And I hope that really supports you. So again, thank you so much for listening. and we will see you for season 2. Thank you for listening to the Education on Fire podcast. For more information, please go to educationonfire.com.